Welcome to the course on dynamics of machinery, unit number 5, measurement and control of vibrations. So in the last class we are just introduced with the what is vibration and why we need to make the measurement of this vibration. So in this presentation we will see about the vibration measuring instrument and its different components. That means particularly how these vibration measuring instruments have been classified and their different sensors available. So if you see this particular block diagram here, in the first block is shown vibration machine of the structure. So initially we have some machine with us and we are going to use a transducer or a pickup. So we are going to mount this vibration transducer or the pickup over the machine. Okay, so whatever the vibrations are there on this machine, that will be transferred to this particular transducer. Now this transducer will be receiving that vibrations in the mechanical form and converting into an electrical signal, and then there is a signal conversion instrument is there, which is converting that signals, electrical signals obtained from the transducer into in the form which will be able for that instrument to be displayed in the form of a display unit, and we can see that value of the vibrations, and also we can record it. Okay, or it can be connected to the computer where we can analyze those vibrations, and definitely this data once we got from the machine, it can be used for the analysis of that data. So we can find out the different reasons of vibrations, why that vibrations are occurring, and we can concentrate accordingly that where we can put our efforts to reduce those vibrations. So first we will see the type of vibration measuring instruments used will depend on what. So basically this which vibration measuring instrument you are using, that depends on the expected range of frequencies and amplitudes. So what is the amplitude of vibration that you have to measure and what is the range of frequency you are interested in? Depending upon that, the instrument will be having its own capacity, so that capacity instrument you have to use. Then the size of machine or structure involved. So it means a small size, medium size or a large size, that depends on its power, its weight and all those things. So low power machines are there, medium power machines, and very high power machines are also there. So depending upon the size of the machine, you are going to use the kind of instrument for it. Then the conditions of operation of the machine or the structure, so in which condition actually and how this particular systems are working. So according to that you have to use the type of instruments, and the type of data processing used. Depending on that also you have to make use of the particular vibration measuring instrument. So let us see the classification of this vibration measuring instrument. So you will see that there are three types of classifications as shown here. First is based on the type of contact. Okay, so there is contact type of instruments and there are also non-contact type instruments. Contact type instruments will be directly mounted over the machines, and non-contact type machines will be kept away from the machine. They are not going to make any kind of contact with the machine. Then second is the based on the power source. So some instruments are active and some instruments are passive in this case, while the third way is based on the method. So some instruments are indicating instruments, like you can directly indicate the vibration value over that indicator, and some instruments are of recording type. It means it will record readings, but you cannot see what are those readings are. Once we connect that recording system to the computer, then on the computer we can see that particular readings. So this is another way of classifying that measuring instruments. Also now we will see the amplitude measuring instruments. So vibration amplitude, you have to make measurement of it. So amplitude means, now suppose you can see here simply a spring and mass system shown. So if I displace this mass from its mean position, so yeah, this you can see the different amplitudes are there. So what is the maximum amplitude of vibration of this system? Okay, so this from this mean position, this distance is nothing but the called as amplitude of vibration. Okay, so there are stylus recording instrument, as it is indicated here. This kind of stylus is here, and this is stylus in the recording instrument. It will record that vibrations whatever is there on the machine. Then there is seismic instrument is also there. Then there is optical recording instrument. Then there is a simple potentiometer. Then capacitive pickup. and mutual inductance pickup. So many this vibration amplitude measuring instruments are there. Okay, then we'll talk about the vibration transducers basically. So what are the vibration transducers? So the motion or dynamic force of the vibrating body is converted into an electrical signal by the vibration transducer or the pickup. Okay, so whatever the motion is there, mechanical motion is there, that is converted into an electrical signal by these transducers. So it is a device that transforms changes in mechanical quantities such as displacement, velocity, acceleration or force into changes in the electrical quantities such as voltage or current. In that form actually it is going to convert these mechanical quantities. So these particular systems will be producing the electrical output. So it produces electrical signal of vibratory motion. So the one which is measuring the displacement, it is called as proximity probe. Okay, and the instrument which is making measurement of velocity, that is called as velocity probe, while the one which is measuring the acceleration of the system, that is called as accelerometer. So these are the names given to these sensors or the transducers depending upon which kind of measurement that you are going to do with the help of this. Okay, so since the output signal means it may be in the form of voltage or current of a transducer is too small to be recorded directly. Always it is very small amount of vibrations are there, so very small amount of voltage or the current will be generated by that instrument. So a signal conversion instrument is used for amplifying the signal. Otherwise what will happen, if you do not amplify that signal, it may be lost before it is being received by the receiver. So we have to amplify this signal, okay, to the required value so that it can be stored properly, and the output from the signal conversion instrument can be presented on a display unit for visual inspection. Okay, so whatever output will be obtained from the signal conversion instrument, so that you are going to provide to the display unit for visual inspection, or sometimes that will be recorded by a recording unit, or it can be stored in a computer for batteries. So generally for making analysis we are going to store it in a computer. Then the data can be analyzed to determine the desired vibration characteristics of the machine or the structure. Definitely after it is being stored in the computer, you can analyze the data to find out what is the desired characteristic of it and what is the existing characteristic of it, so you can compare it. And if you found out that desired vibration level is less and now the present vibration level is high, so definitely you have to stop the machine and see what kind of maintenance can be done for it so that the vibration levels can be reduced. So depending upon the quantity measured, a vibration measuring instrument is called a vibrometer, okay, a velocity meter or an accelerometer. So names are given according to the quantity measured by it, or a phase meter and a frequency meter. So if it is measuring frequency of vibration, it is called a frequency meter. If it is measuring phase, it is called a phase meter. Okay, so like these different names are there for this. Now the following consideration dictate the type of vibration measuring instruments to be used in a vibration test. So first is the expected ranges of the frequencies and amplitudes, then second is size of the machine and structure involved, and condition of operation of machine, equipment or the structure, and the fourth is the type of data processing used, such as graphical display or graphical recording or storing the record in a digital form for computer processing. Now let us classify these transducers once again. Basically the vibration transducers can be classified into the following categories. First, depending upon the parameters, we already discussed this. Depending on the parameters, whether this parameter is displacement or the velocity or acceleration, so accordingly there are types of the transducers. At the same time, depending upon the electrical output, so whether it is passive or active, that two types are there under this. Then depending on the type of output means whether it is relative or absolute value of the vibration specified by it. There are two ways, relative or absolute. And the fourth is proximity of the transducer to the vibrating object, means contact type or non-contact type. Okay, so now first of all talk about the displacement probe, means also called as proximity probe. So you can see here this is a displacement probe. So it measures the distance an object is moving from a reference position. Okay, so this distance is typically reported in microns, and it is most accurate in the frequencies below 10 Hz or when the machine is running with less than 600 rpm. In that case you are generally preferring this particular proximity probe. Okay, so you can see here there is a probe mounted here, and it will sense the distance between the shaft and this particular bearing. So these kind of displacement transducers or the displacement probes needs to be permanently installed on large machines with sleeve bearings. So you can see here this is sleeve bearing, and on this sleeve bearing it needs to be permanently installed. So this there is a hole required for this, for inserting the particular sensor here, and then you can make the connections with this meter. So it measures the relative displacement between the bearing housing, means this probe tip, and the rotating shaft. So it is also called as eddy current probe. Okay, and as I said here, it can be used in this particular range, 0 to 600 cycles per minute. Generally, this displacement probes will look like this. So there is a coil here, this is protective tip, and this is probe body, and this is the coaxial cable for connecting to the instrument. Okay, and actually the photograph is shown here, which will these probes will look like. Now next is the velocity probe, or it's called as velocity pickup. So it measures the rate of change of position an object is moving, and is commonly reported in mm per second. So velocity generally measured in mm per second, so that way it is indicating its results. So it is best suited to measure vibration between 10 Hz and 1000 Hz, means 600 rpm to 60,000 rpm. In that range, if your machine is running, in that case generally we are preferring this particular velocity probe. So what it consists of, you can see there is a coil of wire here. This is loosely strung magnet inside it. Okay, there is a spring. So active type pickup and passive type pickup, there are two types of pickups available under this velocity probe. Okay, and it is actually the oldest of all, means very old type of technology is there in this. So it produces signal proportional to velocity. It is self-generating, and definitely self-generating, and needs to no conditioning electronics for this kind of instrument. But it is heavy, complex, and expensive. And this is nothing but the frequency range for which it can be utilized, and it is more sensitive to temperature. That is what is done about this particular velocity probe or velocity pickup. Now we'll talk about the accelerometer. So you can see the diagram of this particular accelerometer first. So this is mounting stud and its base. There is a use of crystal element in this particular. Okay, so this is a seismic mass over this particular crystal. Okay, and this is preloading spring, and whatever the vibrations will be there, that is transferred to this particular crystal element, and will be producing the electrical signal proportional to it. So there is a use of amplifier here, and then accordingly this will be given connection to the instrument. So it measures the rate of change of velocity per unit time. Okay, and therefore it is called as acceleration. So generally acceleration is measured in G's. G's means G is nothing but the 9.81 meter per second square. So it is most effective frequency range for accelerometer is above 10,000 Hz, means for very high RPM measurements generally it will be preferred, means it is being preferred for measurement of RPMs above 6,000. Okay, and it produces a signal proportional to the acceleration of the seismic mass. So whatever the acceleration of the seismic mass will occur, proportional to that it will be producing the electrical signal, and it is extremely linear amplitude sense. Okay, so it is having a linear behavior in giving the output, and it can be used for a large frequency range, and definitely the size of this is very small, and therefore it is most commonly preferred as it is in small size. So how you will make the selection of the sensor and how you will install this sensors over the machine, that we will just talk for 2 minutes, and we'll see what are the guidelines to be used for mounting the sensor and selecting the sensor. So in the first consideration is the manufacturer's recommendation. So generally manufacturers are giving their recommendations that how to mount this particular sensor and where it can be used. So if there is no such thing exist, then you have to refer to the frequency range. Just check the frequency range of it for which it can be used, then check the environmental conditions in which it can work. Then it varies depending upon the application, so that will change. As the application changes, your sensor selection will change. So most manufacturers provide the specific location for mounting, and this should be strictly adhered to. So if these recommendations are not followed, the resulting measurements may be invalid. Even for suppose there is any lathe machine is there, so on that machine where you have to make the vibration measurement, that spot is being specified, and over that spot only you have to make the measurement so that we can compare with the standard values. So generally mount in a location that provides the closest proximity to the component of interest is being preferred. Okay, so this is what about the sensors and their selection. So in the next class we will talk more about the vibration measuring instruments, vibration analyzer, impact hammer, and vibration shakers. So thank you very much.